Hey folks, welcome back to the B-Side. Brad here along with Tony Gore. We're going to be doing some more mythological type stuff today. I'm going to be outfitting my Barbarian. I took my little He-Man dude from last week, gave him some pants and boots blocked out, but he's got to get helmets, he's got to get bracers, he's got to get belts, all kinds of crap like that. Tony's got his Medusa in substance. Tony, what you got on tap today?
Yep, Substance Painter, Medusa. I'm going to play around with some materials and rendering and texturing, so we'll see what it looks like when I'm done. We'll see.
All right, that's where we are today. We got Gus, we got Ram, we got Jamie. How you doing, fellas? Thank you so much for joining us here today. And again, we're just going to be kind of playing around with different little parts of these individual projects here. I have for my Barbarian here, I got to get his helmet done. It's very important. You'll see last week I was blocking in hair. I have hair here, but I kind of think this makes him look a little bit too much like an actual Barbarian. It's not kind of goofy, so I think he needs to have a helmet way down over his face with that little bar that comes down the middle. I don't understand how anyone can like have that and not just kind of stare at that bar the whole time and just turn cross-eyed basically. So I'm going to give him one of those helmets, give him some braces. I actually got to make a giant axe for him as well. So we got some props and other kinds of accoutrement to make today. So that's where we are.
I'm working on makeup and texturing, so that's where I am.
And you can see Tony's got these awesome eyelashes. You got that? You got from ArtStation, Tony?
Yeah, ArtStation. Let me bring up the link to give the creator some props. I bought these a minute ago. They are by Nasser. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. Noschenko. And they're really good. Had them for a minute now.
Yeah. So again, because I know that I have like I said before, I think I have a curved brush for eyelashes, but they're not quite as good as those. They look really nice. So with 3D Manic, how you doing, man? So what I did in between is I just blocked out this little half a sphere to get me started, but I want to kind of play around. I want to have like this little bar coming through down the front. I'm going to use this kind of picture here as my reference. So like one of these guys with the little bar coming down the front here. I'm not going to give him the horns, it's too much, but I want to have these pieces coming on the side as well because he's got a very small head, so it'd be kind of funny to kind of encapsulate, kind of like enclose it even more with this helmet. So that's my plan, is to kind of make his little tiny face really sticking out there. Jamie said, I finally bought my hard-earned cash and bought this Zebra Sky skin brushes. They are really awesome, man. Again, Pablo's brushes are always amazing.
Win-win situation.
Yeah. You're always going to be in good shape there. So I want to take this helmet and I want to kind of give this kind of a side pieces and that piece down the front. So I'm going to do a little Z modeling here, I think. Insert an edge and basically just choose maybe these faces here. Maybe just these two. So I'm going to extrude these guys out and see how we do. Solo this, bring these guys out a little bit here. Yeah.
We were just discussing how we're on the verge of going back to the school with the kids.
Yay! It's so exciting because everything's great. It was a nice day until Tony brought that up, and a little pall has been cast, I think, over this whole proceeding now. Thanks, Tony.
I love the kids.
Yeah, Raul and Nikita's here. Thank you so much for showing up. I would be wearing my new beanie that Raul got sent out to me because it's awesome, but it's like 175 degrees in my office right now.
It's very hot today.
We're going to pretend that I'm wearing my beanie, and we're pretending that it's on. I should have done like a Photoshop version of my beanie and just kind of like superimposed it. That would have been good. I didn't do that though. Yeah, see that Ram's talking about the helmet, like the one in Holy Grail. Again, that's exactly kind of the idea here. There's an idea of I just don't like. I think a lot of these helmets. First of all, I don't know how you could see in half of these things, but like the idea of these with that bar that comes right down the front of your face. I don't know how like your eyes just don't get drawn to it.
Yeah, I don't know the practical purpose of that bar. To protect the bridge of your nose, maybe?
Yeah, well, I'm guessing in case a blade comes across your face, it'll stop it before it gets to your eyes, maybe?
Curious.
Oh, I mean, it's a good question. Question to which I possess no answer.
Mm-hmm.
This is where, whenever I do like low res stuff like this, and then I try to, how do I just do? Now I try to like use edge loops to kind of like preserve edges. It just never works. Because it's too low res, and then I put an edge loop on there, and then it's got that little indentation I don't like. What I should have done was on a higher res version of it, and just let it, and not needed to put these edges on. But
it was a combination of polymodeling and sculpting, because if you want to hold those edges, you got to go in there, make the creases, and then refine it with the sculpting.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. I'm just some dude. I don't know.
I'm gonna use this here. Oh, hey, Mini Chicks. Yes, Mini Chicks says nose and eyes protection for the helmet piece.
I knew we kept Mini Chicks around for some reason.
It's also just terribly stylish. Let's just be clear.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so Raul said, "I wish I had a pig farm." I saw that on.
I saw that too.
I saw that on, and now, did you say you wish you had a pig farm? Like, I remember you said something about pig something, but was it a farm or was it like a pig face?
So,
could you remind me? Because it's about that character, right?
We were talking about Ganon, and everybody was saying he has a pig form.
Oh, a pig
where
form.
He would turn into a pig. And I think that'd be a nice power to have. Why not?
Oh, I can see that.
A were-pig. Why not were-pig?
I mean, I'm curious as to what situations you feel
would warrant a were-pig.
Yeah, would benefit from turning into a pig.
What situations would I benefit from turning into a wolf?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I was never arguing for the benefits of doing that.
Touche.
That was really not my thinking, but I mean,
The reality of the situation, Brad, is sometimes I just be saying stuff. And I believe I was a little tired that day, and it just came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's okay. We're allowed to say goofy stuff.
I was going to say, what you didn't know, of course, is that it would be immortalized. And
I did not know that.
And now becomes essentially your legacy.
Well, Chuck says boar tusks are dangerous. Exactly. I think you might need to bore somebody.
Chuck.
Gouge at somebody.
And I mean, at least now we have an answer as to why you'd want to be able to turn into a pig. I mean, it can be useful. I myself have often found myself wishing I had boar tusks.
You know what? If the fates decide to besmirch me with a gift such as were-piggery, who am I to deny it?
I dabble in were-piggery in my spare time.
Ooh, wouldn't a were-pig be an orc? See? There's plenty of orcs. That's a good point.
I mean, you're not, and Gus says in Chinese culture, pigs represent luck. Honestly, again.
See, I think Raul was trying to throw shade, and it backfired. I'm getting nothing but support here.
This is the pig form support group.
Yeah.
We meet every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Those who need it. True, Shark.
No.
God, that brings me back. I have not. How long? You're referring to Game of Thrones. How long ago was that on? Was that like it was a while ago, right? Like
I want to say it ended at least 3 years ago.
okay. So yeah, I felt that it was a while ago, but yeah.
Why is Bradley saying delete everything? Huh?
He's trying to sabotage us. You know how he does.
Yeah. 3D Man, I want to be a badass work. You know how we know Game of Thrones has been off for a while? Because the children from Game of Thrones are all grown with gray hair and babies.
Yeah.
Sansa Stark married who was it? One of the Jonas brothers.
Jonas brothers or something.
And she has a baby.
Oh. Oh, Shark says it ended in 2019. Yeah, so 4 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. It's been a while. I need another Game of Thrones epic show to come out. Secret Invasion ended on a high note, but it's not quite as epic as Game of Thrones. I need something.
No, and it was very short. It was, it was surprisingly short actually, considering. I kind of thought it was gonna. I thought it had, it had more legs. In terms
of according to the strike, the actor strike, a lot of that has to do with them not wanting to pay people enough money. So,
well, I don't know what they're talking about because I just got a residual from old digital tutors for some of my old tutorials, and it was 12 cents. So
oh well, damn, never mind.
I mean, I don't know what y'all talking about because I'm living high on the hog. Back to pigs again. But yeah, 12 cents, man. That is like at least 0.4 people watching my tutorials. Of course, they were from 2010, so I was probably talking about, using mental ray and stuff like that, but still.
Hey, a win's a win. A win is a win.
3D Mac asked about if anyone watched season 1 of House of Dragons. I haven't seen it because I think for a brief period I didn't have HBO Max, and from what I could tell, it's like it didn't appeal to me at first, only because it didn't seem like there's anyone who I would root for because they're all kind of jackasses. Am I wrong about that? Like,
I did watch it.
Are we grading on a curve, like where this person's not quite as awful as everyone else, so I'll root for them.
I did watch it. They're all terrible people, but it's still entertaining. Still entertaining. And there's way more dragons. Way more.
Oh yeah.
Way more.
Well, that was back in because that was back when they were still like dragons, right? That was part of the.
That was almost 2 years ago at this point, I think. Oh, we're not gonna get good TV for a minute, man.
Hey Ben. Yeah, Jamie said he enjoyed it, but he preferred only because again, like that was like at least in Game of Thrones there were like different groups of people to follow, whereas it seemed like these were all Targaryens, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, sort of. It's complex. It's complicated.
I understand. Bring down. There are times. Do you do your box modeling in ZBrush now, Tone, or do you still go into Maya mostly?
It depends on what I'm trying to make and how quickly I can make it. Usually, I can get most of it done in excuse me, in ZBrush. If I need something very specific or how should I put this, more parametric, then I'll do it in Maya because I have a little bit more control, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Either or.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, who needs work, Ben? Get to work. We had Barbarians to outfit today.
Hooligan. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel I don't know. I feel like it's a term of endearment.
Why is Autodesk not working? That's crazy.
It's like, did it quit on you, or did it crash?
It won't even load up. It won't even load up.
Well, that's not good, Tim.
I mean, I'm a teacher. I want my Autodesk now.
Mm-hmm.
Launch
So
logged in.
in this picture, kind of has like this arrow feel, which I don't know if I like it or not. We'll have to see. I might like it just be straight down, but we'll have to see how this works here.
Unexpected error. I don't like this.
I don't like unexpected errors, Sonny. I like to expect my errors. I like to know when those errors are going to be around.
Bradley cast a curse on my Maya. I believe it.
I think, generally speaking, it makes sense to blame Bradley for most problems.
Right now.
My experience. Yeah, I don't think I like the arrow. I'm going to go straight up.
I hate that it's not giving me a reason. You know, as soon as it gets to redshift from Maya.
Oh, maybe you need to.
Are they logging the max on that every time?
Yeah, you might. It might be that. It might be a. Yeah, that might be it.
That's wild. So have max on loaded up. All right, if it loads now, that seems like something you might not want.
3D Max said, "Hey, 3ds Max, do that to me. It turned out it was a Wacom drivers causing the cars." I want to know if people use Bradley Casticers. I want to know if people use like tablets with Maya. Like I can't do that. I can't. It's just weird to me.
I've had a few students that have tried, and
well, I mean, like whenever I see like behind the scenes, like for like Pixar, like they all do, and I just like, man, it feels like a very strange.
it's not natural.
Yeah, because the right mouse or the middle mouse, like you're kind of like just hovering your pen and just like, I don't know, it feels. I don't like it. I'm just saying, I'm against it.
Mr. Groatman, will you mind if I restart my computer for a minute and then come back to see if I can resolve
Once
this?
you're here forever, Tony. No, I'm just kidding. Of course.
I'll be right back. Yes. Maybe. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony's having some difficulties here. He'll be back in just a moment. In the meantime, please enjoy this Barbarian helmet, which is somewhat simplistic, but that's okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of stuff to it. I do like the idea, though, that this is going to be something he can't stop staring at. You used to have everything, including browsing. See, that's impressive. I can't get used to it. Yeah, because for me, 3D Max, yeah, I can't, like, for me, I don't feel like for some reason I don't feel like I have enough like precision with it. Like I always feel this. I feel for somehow this is kind of like less precise than the mouse. It probably isn't, but I feel that way. Yeah, I've seen animators use it too, and again, to me, it just feels weird. It just feels weird. Probably just because I started using. I mean, I've used mine forever with a mouse, so I guess it's probably why I'm just not used to it. Really, otherwise. What do we got? What's up, Ivan? Yes, we are going to be barely clothing him. One, because I mean, he's not overly modest. and two, it's probably hard to find stuff in his size. And also, it's easier to animate something if you don't have layers of stuff. So yes, I'm gonna most it's easy to animate him with a helmet on his head. So I'm going with the helmet first. This is my primary goal at this point. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. And again, I have so many problems trying to get used to Blender, and it's not Blender's fault. It's totally my fault. But I have so many problems just trying to get a feel for it. I think that I might use it mostly as just as a renderer because it does some really cool rendering stuff, and I have a lot less fun trying to do that in Maya sometimes. But yeah, I'm just so not used to the navigation in Blender, so I kind of I flail a lot when it comes to that. I'm going to do some quick, really, really ugly UVing of this helmet. So avert your eyes, anyone who actually values UVing. But I'm just going to take 3 poly groups, the inside, the little ringy parts, and the helmet part. And I'm just going to unwrap by poly groups. And that's perfect, fine, fantastic. We got, here's my mouse. The stylus leads. I think I've actually messed it up somehow. My pen now, even before you could use a pen in Maya, it doesn't even recognize my buttons. So I think I have to adjust the buttons anyway. Maybe I'm just sabotaging it on purpose. So what am I going to do here with the colors? Let's see. Is it working for you, Tony?
No, it's for me, Mario. No.
Now, did you update your Maxon One app? Is it updated?
Did. Send the error reports. I think there was an Autodesk licensing update too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna have to update Autodesk.
Update everything.
This is gonna be the most interesting podcast ever, guys. Yay!
I got to figure out. All right, so I'm going to make this part the dark part and this part the light part for now. Yo, Frederick's here. What's up, man? I was just talking to Tony earlier. I want to kind of get back and play around a little bit too with that Skull Kid because it's going to be interesting to do. Let's see. Yeah, I think it makes more sense to make him bald. I want this helmet, and it's tough to make this hair. I have to really tuck it into the helmet. I don't think it's going to work.
You can do a lot of cool things with that.
I like the way the hair looks though, so I'll keep it in case there's something I want to use it for. Now I gotta bring in little studs, little spiky stud things. I think instead of making them circular, I'm gonna go with diamond shapes because that's how creative I am today. We're saying no, the hell with the obvious. We're going with diamonds. Diamonds, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds.
He's a rich barbarian.
Yes. Well, not diamonds. I mean, like diamond-shaped studs. Diamond-shaped studs.
I say not. Why not flex on them?
True.
What I say. Spend it. YOLO. You only live once. Can't take it with you. It's from all his plundering and looting.
That's true. I mean, he's not the type to have a 401k or anything like that. So
He thinks it's a big scam.
So I'm going to bring this little part up a little. Not that. That's not. Do that. If I were to delete that and then close holes, it gives me some weird triangular thing. Interesting. Actually, I think I probably use it. I need to bring this little guy up. Then I'm going to bevel the crap out of this. I got to figure out. I'm trying to bevel it in one direction, and it always bevels the opposite direction. Like I want the bevel around the top, so of course it bevels around the side. And
That's one of those situations where I'm using Maya instead of ZBrush. Much more predictable.
It's just funny, like again, like because there are times it'll like I'll try it and it'll do the wrong thing, and then I'll try it again and it'll do it the right way. Like I don't know. This is kind of like the equivalent of the polygroup colors. Whenever you try and make a new polygroup, it makes it a color it's doing it on purpose just to make it very similar to the one before. And I feel that this is kind of another one of those things where it's just like I know which way we want it to go. I'm just not going to do it that way.
Can't have life made easy, but
it's those are the things that I will. And you know what? Again, I want to find out. I would not be surprised to find out there is a secret to like how to do it. Like there's a direction you have to go or a button you have to press or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know what that might be.
No, I could be completely wrong.
Okay.
But there is a way when you're inserting an edge loop, there's a little orange line before you apply it. It goes either horizontal or vertically. Sometimes that can dictate which way it goes. I don't know if that applies to bevel.
I don't see a line there because it doesn't affect. It's not. You're not doing it to faces. You're doing it to edges. So I don't think that there's an orange line for that. But yeah, that's it's very subtle. It's not very easy to see sometimes, but it's and there are times where it kind of like it flickers and it seems like it almost doesn't really want to go in the right direction, that little thing. Obviously these colors don't really matter because I'm making this look like no stuff. Solos here. That is the Mike and I have like occasionally just like stopped and said, look, you have to stop and look at this because you can't believe like the fact that like not only does it do it similarly like once, it'll do it like I've had like 3 different objects. I did auto group and each color was just like green, slightly less green, slightly less green. And it can't be an accident. It can't be an accident. I'm going to use my slice curve and try and get a nice straight line. I keep forgetting about mirror and weld, and I keep doing it in the wrong direction. That's what I do. Yeah, brush name for polygroup. Yeah, and its sole purpose is to make sure the colors don't vary at all. When you
He's probably watching right now, cursing something out. He's watching right now, cursing to himself.
I'm gonna try to remesh this and see if this will. Hey, look at that. A lot of the ZMesher does what I'm hoping it does. It doesn't always do that. It's not. Although it has gotten way better. Do you remember how awful ZMesher used to be? Like how absolutely unpredictable it was.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've always loved my Z modeler. How dare you besmirch its good name, sir?
I'm making a separate strip for this part going through it because so often when I try and extrude it from the original mesh, I just end up having to worry about all the edges not being straight and having to use extra edge loops and all that kind of stuff. It's way easier just to make a separate piece. Now I'm going to try and bevel this edge. Let's see how lucky we get with this one. All right, that time it worked. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. After this barbarian here, there'll be 3 characters that are done in terms of being modeled out for the short. And I think next week I want to kind of take one of them on a test drive, do a little a run animation. Maybe I have to try and see if I can get the barbarian and the kobold to run next week. That would be kind of fun. I haven't done a good run cycle in a while. So now we have a little helmet here. This little something. I don't know why I'm going with green here. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Yeah, let's go with which I thought a little more on the gray side. There we go. Makes sense. Now I'm going to go here to my little strip. I can't help it. I have to name it. It's the rigger in me. Of course, I should probably spell it correctly.
That would help.
I want to get picky. Oh, hi, Maricat.
Hey, Maricat. Always faithful watcher.
Always nice to hear from Maricat. Helmet spikes. Let's see about this here. I'm just going to these.
My slowest update ever.
Oh, you're still update. Is it a Maya update or is it like just an Autodesk related thing?
There was identity update thing and a Maya update from July that I missed. That I've been working on this computer all week and nothing. But now that it's showtime. Can't have none of that.
I got my helmet blocked in. All right, he looks, it's subtle. It's not much going on yet, but at least it looks like a helmet. Some smoothness here. Yeah, what's up, B? B dropped by. Good to see you, man. Oh, yeah. So on the texturing of this the hair and stuff, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm kind of playing around with using. I want it to kind of feel more like a painting. So if I have Maya open here, it's interesting. I'm going with. I'm taking these textures that I do, and I'm kind of bringing them into Photoshop, and I'm applying this oil paint texture to it, a filter to it, which kind of gives it like these little brush stroking things. And for things like hair, it's awesome. Like it just kind of makes these little lines just to kind of appear very, very nicely, like without how much work. See here, I'm kind of doing a little it feels almost like paint strokes on the skin here. So this is my idea for texturing here, is to kind of make it feel like it's old painted textures, like paint brushy textures, which is kind of interesting for me. And there's again, the filter in Photoshop does that, which is awesome. Yeah, so you're always trying to do the Maricat voice over chat, and it's just it's hard to do. It's hard to do. What we need to do is get some sort of emoji that kind of like that you get to put out, that we kind of recognize that okay, it's being said in a ridiculously helium type high pitched voice. So now I'm going to do some bracers. Now again, the bracers are things on his arms. I think they need to be oversized because I saw that little cactus guy is so cool. You know what's awesome about it is, again, the facial expression. So many, like, it's so easy just to kind of like stick with something symmetrical, and breaking symmetry on the facial expression is just as important as breaking symmetry on the pose.
Very nice appeal too. I didn't realize I was on mute that whole time, guys. Sorry. That dog is barking. Yeah, I've been watching this. It's very well done.
Yeah, folks, again, facial expressions that are asymmetrical, so much more interesting. So cool. All right, let's give him some bracers. So I'm going to duplicate this torso here and probably just chop off stuff I don't want. So another thing that drives me crazy. The select when you have select lasso on, which is usually what I think you typically want. You try and isolate a poly group. It doesn't do that. If you hit an edge, it does that thing where it only isolates part of an edge. Rare that you really want to do that, but okay, make that the default. It's fine. That's what I'm complaining about today.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is where we come to gripe. A little slice curve. And a little.
I feel like we're allowed to.
I feel like we are. Oh, we have subdivision levels on here. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. That was not what I intended.
How IRA handles. IRA does not handle translucency.
Oh, really?
Now, maybe it doesn't. I just don't know how to use it. But like, the thing that's going to make these look like jelly is I need to mess with the reflective index or index of refraction in Arnold.
I was gonna say yeah. So is it even worth your while to do that in
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to do something with transmission depth for the AI shader too, because this I don't like this. I don't like it. Which would be nice if I could use Maya.
Oh, that's right. You can't use Mario. Do you not have the older version still installed?
No, I just cleaned it up the other day. I might. But my thing is, I'm guessing because it was a login thing, if it's not letting me do one, it's not going to let me do the other. Why do I have 2023, but I don't have...
Now, have you used this recently, my 2024?
I've been using it all week.
Oh, okay. Wait, B said he's got something for you. The IOR index. Index, yeah. That's again, like there's so many little elements of like newer renderers like Redshift and Arnold. Like again, I'm so used to like in the older materials. If I want something to be, whatchamacallit, transparent, there's simply a transparency slider that I just went to and did that. And now what the heck is going on?
Well, IOR index isn't new. It had it in mental ray. It's just index of refraction, and it changes the way the light bends through the surface. You know, when you have a cup of water and you look through it, it changes the shape of everything.
Yeah, the weird thing was that again, like now, if the standard material is like automatically reflective, like crazy reflective, until unless you go there and turn that down. Whereas I miss I miss just blends and Lamberts. It was easier, just make it a blend, make it a Lambert, and you're good.
Back in my day.
Heck yeah, this is where I get grumpy. Let's see if I can, for some reason, my move brush doesn't seem to work right now. All kinds of crap happening going wrong today.
You know what you should do? Just project it.
You're talking crazy, Tony.
Okay. Aren't you the one always advocating that I do things the easy way?
I don't even know what you mean by project it, to be honest with you.
If you hit go into your subtool, go to project, it'll just shrink wrap that mesh to his form.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I don't want it to be shrink wrapped. I want it to be different. For some reason, my move brush isn't working. Why isn't my move brush? Oh, you know what? I have backspace external. That's why. Oh, God.
But whenever I'm doing something like that, I project. And then if I want it off a little bit, then I adjust it. That way it's closer to form fitting. Like that's a method I use for doing like wraps and stuff. So I'll project it and then I'll slice it up and give me the groups, and then I'll use a panel loop to do the wraps.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is actually pretty form fitting because I actually made it from a duplicate of him.
Yeah.
Which is But I'm trying to think. I don't know if I. So I'm trying. These are going to be his little bracer things. So I don't know if I want to. I'm trying to think about whether or not it makes sense just to make them, not quite so form fitting. I haven't decided. I can't decide.
Mr. Groatman, I trust the process as always.
Yeah, I mean, it'll sort itself out. I have found myself using the old transpose line a whole lot recently.
I mean, it's a good tool.
It is, especially when you want to stretch stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it's a better way to visualize the center of the mass if you run it straight through the object.
So I've decided that the best way to make this nice and smooth is to get rid of everything, all the edges, and then just slowly scale them up, and just bring in that shape that I want.
B said he doesn't know how we use that thing. B, we were raised on that thing.
Yeah, we don't know any better. And it's true though, because I remember when the actual regular the gizmo came out, I was very grateful because trying to teach students who have never used anything before.
Yeah, they're used to the gizmo.
That transpose tool is absolutely just incomprehensible because it is. I mean, it doesn't. The gizmo makes sense to look at it. You want to move it in a direction, you grab the little arrow and you move it in that direction. The transpose tool is crazy, but it does have its uses. So
you have to grab the right ring or it won't move correctly. Then all of a sudden you're spinning shit around.
And if you're using if you want to rotate or move or scale, the tool looks exactly the same. But there's no, it's not like you can tell. Oh god!
Especially when you're Oh, it's crashing again.
Come on.
Why?
Yeah, I can see that. But again, it's actually it's cool also because you can put it exactly what the angle that you want as you draw it out. So, yeah, it definitely has. Again, it's for things like rotation. It can be useful. I think for I do like it. It just sometimes you just need to kind of affect a very specific area, and it's a lot easier to do that. Now, gaming, that's just mean. That was again that, and it's what's cool about using it for posing is because of the way it's shaped. It kind of just feels like a lever that you're just cranking. So Tony, what would happen? Yeah, he said. I think 3D Max said that 3ds Max was doing that. The Wacom driver thing was the issue. I'm curious because I have Maya open and I probably have the same Wacom drivers as you. So I don't know if it's that in this case or not.
I literally was using this yesterday. And this is the same Wacom tablet I've had forever. It can't be my GeForce driver.
Now, if you were to try, so you have 2023 on there? Did that crash too?
Let's try.
It's kind of a science experiment, folks. We're trying to uncover this mystery here. I gotta figure out is what I'm gonna do with these bracers. I don't want to get too crazy with them. I might just kind of put some. A lot of times they have those big studs on there. I'm not gonna get too nuts, but maybe Maybe we'll kind of bring it up on the elbow a little bit.
No, nothing changed on their drivers. Nothing, no updates on Wacom. From yesterday to today, nothing's changed. Okay, so 2023 launched. Okay, I guess we're using 2023 today.
There you go.
What am I? How's it?
Yes, you stop that. You just stop that.
You don't put that voodoo out there, Ricky Bobby. Destiny trying to tell Blender. There you, sir. Good day.
I just wish. Well, yeah, you actually will use it. I wish that I could just wake up tomorrow and know how to and feel comfortable using it. That's all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I could forget all the ways that I expect it to be different than Maya and not be bothered by it, I would.
Like, I know it's a competent program. I know this.
Yeah, and that's what bothers me. Like, if it weren't good, I'd be like, I don't need it. But it is good. And yet,
I just refuse.
I do. I refuse until they change until they change their ways and make make the pop-up menus and the marketing menus and all the stuff, if they just reduce the number of clicks to do things.
I mean, shouldn't we change our ways? But that's another story. Don't you dare.
Right.
Make me self-evaluate myself.
The argument could be made that we're the ones who really should be changing. But
who wants to do that?
Other people, I say, quiet down.
Stop screaming at me.
Stop making sense.
Mm-hmm. Dave.
Look at this. See, B was talking about UVs. Look at. I mean, I use control painting, and I got this down, folks. I got this down.
It's always surprising that you folks want to watch us.
What are you trying to say, Tone? What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I'm more being self-deprecating about myself than you. I appreciate it. Oh, there you go.
Now you're talking crazy, B. Now, you're right that my leather pattern would be straight. However, I'm going to talk about how I'm planning on doing my texturing here. See, remember, we mentioned in the past that I use the word stylized as code for incompetent.
Stylized.
So, and I'm going to be stylizing the hell out of this. And you're going to see what I'm talking about, how stylized this leather pattern is going to be. So I started using Blender for sculpting our Tune Assassinates that don't have and again, like, there are people, like, I know that Danny Mac uses Blender almost exclusively now, right? And he does awesome stuff.
It's like sculpting with my left hand.
Right, B. Right. Again, and I'm. You know what though? It's probably better than sculpting with Mudbox. I will say, probably better than sculpting with Mudbox. Mudbox wasn't terrible, but it wasn't all that. It wasn't good.
It just kind of didn't keep up.
Yeah.
Pour one out for Mudbox.
I'm gonna put studs on this, and I'm gonna use nano mesh for it. Yes, you heard me.
Oh, look at you, fancy!
I'm getting so
fancy with the spices.
So fancy. It's not even close. So because because I always forget how to use nano mesh, and I've recently used it again, and so I remember how to use it now, kind of. And so now I have to use it some more because I have to kind of like embed it in my head, you know.
Get fancy with the spices.
Yes, B, I do, and I have to get you some stuff because I have to actually kind of like be in a situation where I'm going to get some texturing done, and this dude might be the one because I have to get some stuff done on the belt. And you're right, these kind of texturing things are going to be a little bit more subtle, so that would be kind of a good idea. So for nano mesh, folks, nano mesh. Because I want to put little studs on here, but what I don't want to do is insert a sphere or a half a sphere and just move them all over the place because who has the time? Oh, there's some guy, Tony, I don't know, some guy in chat. His name is Mike Tomopson.
Mikhail Toslovich?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's a Russian bot.
The polygroup struggle is real. Again, honest, like I said before, I said it 1,000 times probably, but if they ever did fix it, I'd almost be sad. You know, y'all know me.
It's a Russian bot. If you interact with it, they'll just keep popping up. Come on, stop.
It's true. It's true.
You stop.
Oh, really? 3D Matic says the poly handling in Blender isn't so great. I didn't know that. I thought that was that they were okay with that. Interesting. Yeah, again, yes, they kind of ignore the trolls. You know, there's the Mike Thompsons of the world. You have to just, and they're not there.
He just wants our social security number.
That's all. That's right. All right, so I'm on these bracers now. I'm gonna duplicate these bracers, and what I'm gonna do is I want to see if I can reduce this by half. So I'm going to remesh this by half, and see if I can keep this lower here. Okay, good. I have fewer points, which is good. I'm gonna get rid of the stuff I don't need. But I every time I want to use I want to use nanomesh or I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing, and then I don't remember. Like there's a lot of steps that more steps than I think might make sense. But so what I want to do here, folks who might be interested in nanomesh, in using said nanomesh, is set up basically a copy of the thing I want to put the nanomesh on, because I'm going to be, nanomesh basically draws out meshes on each face typically, and I want to have fewer faces, so I have fewer studs, but I want to have enough faces that I have, some. And I don't want them to go on every single face here. So I don't know if you know this, Tony. I don't know if you know this, but if you want to have things like every other face, like use polygroups on every other face. You know you can polygroup in a checkerboard pattern? Did you know this?
I didn't, but why would I want to do that, sir?
Because I want to use nanomesh, and I want to only have it on every other face. So I'm going to hover over a face here. Spacebar, I'm going to change it to polygroup, and I'm going to change the target to all polygons, but then down here, in the little modifiers, I'm going to choose checker. So now if I come here and just tap, boom, look at that. It gives me polygroups in checker patterns. Right? I mean, come on.
You don't say.
I know. Who knew? So now that I do that, now when I want to insert, say, my little nanomesh studs on every other face, I can do it. Used by making the polygroup. See? You know what I'm saying? So now I got that. So now I got to actually make the thing I want to insert. I can probably just make them spheres. I probably don't need to get too crazy with this, but let's go ahead and do that. So
being crazy with the spices again.
I know. But you see, I was very excited when I learned that. And like you said, I couldn't think of a single reason why I would need it. But now look at this. There is a reason to use it, which is good.
The reasons that we're here. Sorry, everybody. I apologize.
Viewership just went down. All right, wait.
Oh, we just lost viewers. Sorry. Never again. Never again.
You didn't know you wanted to know this information, Mike, but now you do. And now all those moments you were thinking, gosh, if only I could do things only to every other face. Well, now you know. Now you know. Groatman's. Yeah, see, good. Why we're here. Every once in a while, come up with something good. All right, so this is going to be my little stud. This is going to be my little stud. I'm going to just give it a color here. I'm going to go to I need to go to an insert mesh brush and add this to my insert mesh. Now I probably should just go ahead and hide and delete these back faces because that's just going to be, more than I need. So, okay, fine, convince me. So now I have this little guy. I'm going to add this to an insert mesh brush. So I'm going to go to brush. I'm just going to go to this insert IMM basic brush that no one ever uses. And I'm just going to go here to brush and choose from mesh. And now it's going to take this and make this now an insert mesh. And you want to make it so that the front view, wait, did I do it from the wrong thing? Yeah, I think, the front view, yeah. So now I just want to make sure it's going to insert the proper way, and it is. So now I have this little poly sphere as an object for my insert mesh brush. It's temporary, it's not going to stay there, but I don't need it to be permanent. I just want to kind of have it there for now. And now that I have that in my insert mesh brush, I can now come up here to brush again, my menu, and come down here to create and choose create nano mesh brush. And now you can see here, it's like a Z modeler brush with 10 on it. So I got these little 10 objects. So now this is a nano mesh brush. So now hover over here and hover over my little guys here. It says insert nano mesh poly. I'm going to hold down spacebar and change that insert nano mesh poly group all. I'm going to choose the green poly group and just go boom. And I can just bring out studs on each one of those. You see what I'm saying? And again, you could, if you wanted to, you could go in here to your nano mesh menu and, adjust the size, right? You can randomize the size, whatever. But in my case, in this case, it's relatively straightforward what I'm doing with these, so I don't really need to worry about randomizing or rotating or whatever. But at least now it's there. But it's not official, right? It's not actually an object yet. So I want to turn it into an object. So I have to come here into my nano mesh brush and under the inventory menu, choose one to mesh, which is what makes it into its actual mesh. So now I'm just going to auto group this so I can isolate my little underlying meshes here. Come on now. Really? There you go. So that's gone, and I can delete hidden. And now I got my little studs, right? And they're where they need to be. So that's kind of cool. They probably could have stood to be a little further out. So you know what? I'm going to undo back because why not? Undo back to before I did the one to mesh thing. I turn it off. They're off. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to bring them forward a little bit. So I'm going to go here probably to Z offsets. Yeah, that's going to kind of pull them out a little bit from there. Maybe I'll make the height a little bit more so that I can kind of. You would have done it one foot at a time. And I have done that too, because there are times, I'm not proud of this, but there are times like, the time it would take me to learn how to do it the proper way, I could probably just suck it up and do it. I've done that too, in my youth. But now we got ourselves these little studs, and they're everywhere. And that's kind of what I was going for. I wanted them to be a little bit everywhere here. This will be a little bit less once it's smoothed out, so it's going to have some more room on it. But yeah, so that's kind of a cool little way to make things somewhat easier on yourself. Right, so now I got my little studs on there. They're everywhere. They're too much, but that's kind of what I like about them. See, yeah, see, that's or 3D, we could keep it our little secret and just monopolize it. That'd be bad. That's probably wrong. Forget I said that. Oh, look at that. See, wow, that looks cool.
It's getting there. I'm trying to.
I've seen that too. That there's little you can use that to split the thing. That is really kind of a cool thing. And I've seen people use that. It's one of those things I always kind of want to remind myself that is a thing to use, and I forget a lot. And it's one of those things where there will be a moment where I will need to know it, and that's going to be the moment where I completely forget that is the thing. But that is true. I remember seeing that. I think this pilot was doing that on one of his things, and it's on one of his modeling things. But that is really cool. I thought they did something like that in Maya too, but it's like a chamfer thing, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. We're gonna close this hole really quickly. And extrude that down so it's. I want this to feel thick, but I'm just going to move it down a little bit here. Now I'm going to give it little trims. I think little trim. And again, we're going to use some fancy stuff here. So I want to use my curved tube brush to kind of put more trim around here, but I want it to be right on this edge here. So I'm just going to go to my Z modeler and temporarily crease this edge loop right there. And now when I go to my curved tube brush, curved tube, there it is. I'm just going to come up here to stroke and tell it to put a curve along that creased edge. So under curve functions, I'm going to turn off everything but creased edges, hit frame mesh, right? So now I got my little dotted line there, boom, and then I got my thing. Now I'm getting 2 on there, probably because I have symmetry on. So there we go. I just have that one, but it will kind of give me a nice quick bit of trim around there. I'm going to make this kind of a grayish color, I think, for now. Maybe not gray, maybe that tannish color. Too light. And now I'm going to split this off. Do the same thing down here. So I'm going to go back to this guy. These bracers, I have that curve, that crease on there. So I'm going to go to geometry, crease, uncrease all. Now I can do another one down here and do the same thing. Turn off skin shade. Skin shade is a weird material. It's very gummy. I don't like it. I don't like it, Tim.
No, sir. I don't like it.
Nope. I don't like it at all. You never find curve tube. There it is. All right. So stroke again. Frame mesh. Oop.
Where's Bradley telling me more AO?
I gotta undo that because I turned off my symmetry there. Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, again, now would AO like really kind of mess with the translucency though? If you had that, if you kind of like crank that up.
Who knows? Maybe so. Oh, I think I kind of almost got it.
Oh, let's see. Let's bring this up. I want to see this. Right now, without, I guess translucency hasn't come through yet. Right now, they look like what are they called? There's worms that are like kind of like sugar coated. You know what I mean?
Oh, like sour worms?
Yes, that's what it looks like, sour worms right now.
I think I could use like a noise and pump that into the roughness and maybe make it look like there are little crystals on it. Perhaps, I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, because the thing is, right, gummy worms, they don't really have a tight highlight, right? They're kind of like a dull.
Yeah.
Thing.
I kind of got that going on.
They're very gelatin. Yeah, that feels right. That feels closer to that. But like even that, I think the highlight might be kind of like the highlight might be a little bit tight for gummies, unless you're going for glossy, which is possible. Now, B asked if you added thin-walled would it help with the refraction? I've seen that attribute, and I don't know. I've always wondered what it
Yes.
does.
Yes, it does. Look at that.
Oh, you had
Right
that?
there.
Have you tried that before?
On a few things. But I think I need to turn the transmission up. Find it. Oh, when you turn thin walled on, all those options for transmission go away. I don't know if I like that though. Thanks, B. This is that exciting part where you just typing in numbers and waiting for renders to test.
I have. So yeah, it's not the fun part.
The thin wall do have an effect, B, but not the one I'm looking for. But you know,
I guess it makes sense because I mean, if they're gummy worms, they probably don't have that. They're probably very.
no. So you want to be like
Yummy.
a solid almost.
But it's weird, yeah. At first I was thinking of it in terms of, in terms of like almost glossy. But yeah, I guess they probably aren't that way. Are they? I don't have a lot of gummy worm experience.
You're missing out on life.
It's probably true.
Personally, I like the sour, sugar coated ones, even though I shouldn't be eating that. But they're delicious.
No, you probably shouldn't.
Like most things in life, delicious. But bad for you.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, but that's okay. I'm gonna go with it. I was doubting my little studs, but nope. I'm gonna stick with the studs.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna stick with the studs. I was inflating them with like giant bubbles on there. Okay. First, lock in a belt. I hate doing belts for a number of reasons. One, because they're not fun, but also because they're such a pain when you rig them. They're such a pain.
They don't deform correctly, or part of you flexes and the belt doesn't, so it kind of digs into you.
Exactly, because and especially he's going to be having like this giant thick belt, and so how does that deform when you bend? You can't he's going to have a skull on the front because of course you have to. It's kind of like a barbarian rule, I think.
Wouldn't have a skull. Come on.
So when he bends over, what happens to that? Like you can't just squash the skull. That's not really how that works. If skulls squashed every time they were pressure was applied, they wouldn't be very good skulls. Just throwing that out there. So let's go here to bracer trim. Now I have to keep reminding myself too because this guy is essentially a supporting character in my little short. So he's not the star. He just needs to read as a barbarian. So I'm not like gonna agonize over every little thing.
Hey man, don't say that too loud. He has feelings.
I know. He already looks a little angry. I should probably watch myself. I'm just gonna bring in a cylinder. I'm just gonna cylinder time. Just throw a cylinder there. The heck with it, man. The heck with it.
Just go nuts, Brad. Who cares? Who cares?
Right. This is how I do belts, baby. Cylinders all day.
You want a cylinder? Just do a cylinder.
Yeah, like these. Of course, this has a lot of vertical edge loops. So I don't know if you know, but under geometry, under edge loop, you can just hit delete loops. It'll get rid of all the loops you don't need. So all the vertical edge loops that were there just a second ago, all gone.
Also, using a cylinder for a belt is clutch if you're making something to print, because you can use that as a cutting blade.
Exactly. Nice and solid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about, belts are always they're always the cutoff points for a print. When there's no belt, no problems. I have problems. I have problems figuring out what to do.
Hey, Mr. Groatman, save your work.
You know what? Good call. I'm really curious as to why Maya 2024 isn't working for you.
You and me both, friend. Jesus. What did I do? Nothing but a faithful user for years, decades. Well, not decades, decade. Not only that, defender against the encroaching blender. Nope, not you, Tony.
He's asking any ideas on how you're gonna render Gummy Deucer, like the background stuff like that. Yeah, are you gonna like use an image, or are you gonna create?
I don't know. I might do a little Gummy temple.
I was gonna say you should
Candyland.
You should absolutely. Oh, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I was gonna say you should absolutely look at the original Clash of the Titans scene with that Medusa.
And then make that whole ruined Rome, whatever, the ruined Greek mythology as like candy. Yeah. Might be fun.
I was gonna say, all the people that met her, return the stone, but you can make it rock candy.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Just another project on the pile of projects to be done. Y'all know me.
Y'all know me. Now, the question I have
for me
is just a question in general. Like, he's got a very strange torso. It kind of tapers in. So part of me thinks, well, I should taper the belt then, but that's not really how belts work, right? Like,
I mean,
so what does one do? Like, I don't want to have like this big part of the belt just hanging out there, I don't know.
Who knows? I don't have an answer for you.
That was helpful. That was really, really good.
I'm just a horrible friend. I know. I'm sorry.
Just absolutely useless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the belt, let's see, for the belt here, I want to put a big giant. So he's going to have little flaps hanging down from underneath. You need to have flaps. I mean, obviously you need to have flaps. Oh, geez, that was not what I wanted to do. So let's bring in some flaps just to block it out. And then I'm going to put the skull in there. It's a whole big thing. So I can now just control drag out a copy of this. Go to my little gear, swap it out for a cylinder. I'm going to make this 8. Yeah, 8. Actually, you know what? No, 8 is too regular. I'm gonna go with 9 because even numbers are suckers. Purple gown. Did you do the eyes?
No.
Like, are you doing anything like serpentine with the eyes or something like that?
I'm gonna model a snake eye, so that little slit.
Yeah. Something like this. Now I'm gonna bevel this bad boy.
Sorry, I just dipped out. It was rendering, so it kind of did some weird stuff. I'm gonna model the eye so the pupil kind of has a slit in it. Like
Oh, you're actually gonna make it an actual geometrical image.
Yeah. So right now these are just kind of like stand-ins. So I'm just trying to experiment with these materials, bud. Right now I gotta get rid of this height map because it's not doing me any favors.
Oh, just no. Stop. You know what I hate?
What's that?
I hate the fact that that what's up, Tony?
Instantly, Marmoset's doing me okay.
Oh.
Transparency on the gummies is immaculate.
Yeah, see, that's cool. I haven't used Marmoset in so long.
Look at that right away.
Yeah. That's impressive. It's funny to me how rarely I actually have sculpted skulls.
Skulls are good practice, man.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, I know a lot of people do it, and perhaps I should more often.
It's a super old version of
Okay.
This is a super old version of Marmoset. Probably should update. Cheap.
Oh, you have to like pay for a new updated version?
Yeah.
Dude. Now, why is this not? This is peculiar. All right, B. Thanks for sticking around, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Up to date on whether Tony is able to access Maya again.
We kind of gave up and they're just using 2023. You hear that, kids? Just be a quitter. Ooh.
Now, what is the renderer in? Is there like this in what's it called again? Marmoset?
Marmoset. This is real time.
Okay.
I didn't notice a big bald spot on the top of her head.
Is a big bald spot?
Mm-hmm. No judgment.
Been there.
Hey. I look in the mirror every day. I know what's going on. I know what's going on.
I just figure when I finally go completely bald, I'll make up for it by just wearing really interesting hats.
Hey, man. You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It helps to have a nice shaped head.
I also think that maybe I'll have to compensate by just trying to get like really creative facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Big neck beard. Big neck beard.
Crazy mustache or Tony Stark goatee or something like that. You know, something that will.
I say that the crazier your facial hair, the more the kids are afraid of you. And everybody needs. That's what everybody wants, right? Look at that.
That could be the case.
Everybody wants that.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I think Marmoset kind of has it. Check that out.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's like.
I mean, playing around with the glossiness. Maybe I can find some kind of specular map. I don't know. Of
course, the question is, can you like incorporate that into like a final render if it's not in Marmoset, right? Like.
Yeah. But this is what I want, but in Arnold's.
Right. Yeah.
I can do it.
So we're blocking in some pieces here, folks. I think that this is actually going to. This is going to work. This is going to work. I mean, these are low-res pieces so far, but still. Darker color here. Maybe put a little up. I'm trying to insert stuff, but not on the friggin' skull. Oh, see, look, it's been a while. I knew that I couldn't get through the whole stream without Bucky coming in here. We knew that was going to happen at some point.
You expect your cast to leave you alone for 2 whole hours? Come on.
No, but he's being very cooperative this time. He's off the tablet, so I don't know what's going on there. He's setting me up for something later on, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. He is indeed trying to murder you in your sleep. Absolutely.
I think I'm safe because if I were dead, I wouldn't make a very warm bed for him to lay on. And I think that that's his primary concern.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I could be wrong about that, to be honest. But I think that is pretty much why they allow me to continue to live in their home.
And pay their bills.
Yeah, I mean they're kind enough to give me. I mean, you know, to stay rent here. Can y'all still get brain fatigue from multiple hours and sleep hours? Dude, that I think it was 2 weeks ago. I was working on the Kobold, and I was like, and I think at the very end when I stopped, I was like, yeah, sometimes you realize that you're just making things worse at some point. Like there's this time where just like nothing you come up with is an improvement.
What's that called? The point of diminishing returns, right?
Yeah, it's like because there are times definitely like where I'm just like, yeah, nothing I do looks good, and it could just be like you said, I could like that kind of brain fatigue thing. Nothing, just everything, like nothing, just nothing stands out as being a good idea. I'm just like, and I don't know how. And so what do I do? What I do is nap time. So, when there's an issue, nap time. A little nap. I don't know if everything's better after that, but if things aren't better, the important thing is I got to take a nap, which there are worse things.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm gonna
But
do
yeah,
something I
you know,
rarely
I mean,
do.
but also, if you have a long session, I mean, sometimes it is better, right? Just to kind of like, if you have like Tony, you always have like 75 different projects going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's cool. Like for me, when I get kind of like just I don't feel like I'm doing anything right, I'll do something like I'll work on, for example, like the rig or something like that. So like it's like a different set of tools that you're working on, because yeah, there are times, man, like if I try to sculpt, it's just not going to happen. So I got to shift gears and just get my brain thinking in a separate way. But because otherwise, yeah, I just think that there are times where every turn you make, every new thing you do, it just gets further and further away from what you want. And it's like, okay, this is my brain telling me I have to take a little break from this.
Yeah, I know it's counterproductive, but that's why I have multiple projects, because sometimes I get stuck. Like now
Yeah,
I'm stuck, but I'm doing something I rarely do. I am reading the instructions.
but again, right now you can also sometimes you're doing texturing right now, so like that might be a separate kind of approach than something like sculpting or that kind of thing. Just say, hey, I'll do some stuff. Sometimes I'll do like things that I just didn't feel like doing, like that I had been putting off doing. Sometimes I'll look forward to doing that now, just because it's not what I was doing. You know how like whenever you have something you don't want to do, you'll do everything else in the world before that, and that's sometimes that's a good time to do it when you're feeling like I just don't know what the heck to do right now, or it's not working for me. Right, I'll do those UVs, or I'll paint those weights. No one ever does that. No one ever says that. Just in case you're curious, no one ever says, I'll paint those weights.
I think I got it.
Oh, really? Oh, you're in Maya now.
Yeah. So, you guys, with a lot of effort, you too can read instructions.
Yeah, but Ben, you're right. You're right. I went too far. No one wants to paint weights. Oh, come on, scroll. Reading is good. Reading is good.
Talking to a former English teacher there, guy.
Well, or fix if you want to animate though, see, this is what you do. If you don't want to do weights in animation, and I totally understand, let's see if I have these with me. I made a bunch of like very simple rigs to animate with that have no skin weights on them at all. Let me see if I have them. Character rigs, do I have them here? I made a bunch of like Marvel / DC characters that are just basically primitives that are roughly in the shape of those characters. Let's see if I can find them somewhere. I have to have it somewhere. I'm amazed at how I somehow managed to not have anything on any of my drives that I need, like ever. It's astounding to me that I don't have them. Okay, here it is. So, for example, I have these little very very ridiculously simplistic looking rigs here. So, for example, here's my Wolverine rig, and they're all like just primitive shapes. So there's no deformation at all. It's just like. Oh, my computer's slow. Yeah. So just a bunch of little primitive shapes here. And I have like these little mini controls here for his claws to come out. Like, I mean, I went all out. Look at this. I mean, go on. But yes, you can tell. The likeness is uncanny right here. The one, wait, where's the one? This is the one this was the best right here. Was my Nightcrawler version. Because my Nightcrawler rig, as you can see, clearly this is Nightcrawler. There's no doubt that it's Nightcrawler, but Hugh Jackman, Jamie. Tony, are you ready for this? I'm not sure you're ready for this. But you know how in X-Men 2, when Nightcrawler was poofing his way all over the place?
Oh, yeah, best part.
Right. So I put a control. Ready? Are you ready? Watch. Poof. Wait. Oh, wait. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Poof.
I wasn't ready for that at all.
Poof.
That's
All right.
That's something.
Come on. Poof.
That is. Oof.
Right? Come on. That was a. What is this? Is this the tail? Yeah, tail controls. So, if you ever wanted to animate a character without any weights to worry about, you got it.
Honestly, I felt like if you let that one cook a little bit more, you got something there.
Right? We need to cook a little bit more. This thing's fully baked, Tone.
Yeah, okay, you're right. You're right.
No, these are fun because literally it's just a bunch of shapes. Who else did I do? I can't remember. Green Lantern, the Flash, Aquaman, Superman. Does Superman have his little curly Q hair? I can't remember. Let me see. Yes, he does. Of course he does. Little curly Q hair. Yeah, these are not. But I mean, come on, look at the control. I mean, the control is even in the shape of the Superman S. Come on. I don't know what made me to choose the ones I did, like Sinestro. Why would I do Sinestro? Anyway, let me ask these kinds of questions.
You really have a way with hips there. Where was this from, Brad?
I have no recollection of when I did these. This is a very long time ago.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Little separation thing going on here. See, this is where weight painting would help, but who needs it? I think I just wanted to do. I think I just wanted to kind of just animate, like fighting animations. So I didn't want to kind of worry about making 1,000 different rigs. So basically, I just put some shapes together and colored them differently. I probably should have given him a red mouth, but anyway. All that by way of saying, who needs weights to paint?
Not I, sir.
Exactly. All right, so let's go back to X. All right.
You almost had 30 likes.
We're charming as hell, Tone.
25. We are charming. And handsome, I might add.
Yes, clearly.
Obviously.
That's the big draw, See those two hunky guys on the B side. Mm-hmm. B stands for beautiful.
Mm-hmm. You know it.
Now I'm going to bring in some of those little flappy things. Okay, so this is the
pig
belt.
form. All about
all about the pig form. I'm impressed that it's actually become a thing. Like it's actually a video like meme done. That's impressive. Tony, you become a meme.
You're nobody until you become a meme.
No.
Nobody. Yeah, they're a little duller. Dull.
Okay, let me just do a quick proud parent thing here, really fast. Here's a little Archie update. There he is, looking adorable. His little wound on the back of his head is healing nicely. Now we have two cats side by side. Yes, he had a little rough couple of days. He was not feeling great, and now he's back to being his little crazy self. So say hi, Archie. Playing with his older brother down here. Very excited that my little dude is doing okay. He's going back to the doctor tomorrow for his follow-up checkup. Bradley says the music is really low. I think Bradley just doesn't want to hear us talk.
Yeah, that's probably more like it. So this is what I'm thinking. What do you think about this? See how I got these sour worms here?
Yes.
They have little crystals on them. Now I'm thinking I can use mesh and disperse some cubes along the surface.
That's cool. That's another one of those things that I feel like I would love to learn. And I remember trying, like I couldn't find many tutorials about this kind of going through the whole thing. Like I've seen some of it. Like Mash is a crazy powerful thing.
Guess what? We gonna learn today.
That's what I'm talking about. This time, this is not going to be another X-Gen.
You're gonna pay attention. Sure you are. So I'm gonna take this cube and I'm gonna make it the size of the particle I want it to be. So I think like really small. See it down there? So let me actually duplicate this.
I remember when I started trying to figure it out. The problem I had was I couldn't get it to render. Is there like a?
Oh, it'll render. You gonna see. You gonna see. So I want to see how big that cube is relative to the snake. So probably about half of that. Save the work because obviously stuff is going to crash here. Obviously.
Yeah, when you're doing it, well, I always thought that's one thing too. It's surprisingly about Max was that it seemed like it's
sturdy.
Like it didn't bog down the program.
No, they're like instances.
Different things.
All right, so I'm gonna call this sugar cube, and I'm gonna put material on it. So let's just do a standard surface. Where are my? There we go. And we're gonna make this translucent. We're gonna make it white, and we are going to. Where's my translucency? I don't have it. Make it a little shiny. There we go. So whatever that's gonna do something. All right. So I'm saying that sugar cube, and I'm gonna say I want sugar cube to be a mesh object. So I'm gonna click on this little icon here. Boom. And these are my mesh options, right? And distribute. I can do linear, circular, whatever. So if I frame that, where are they?
But you want to distribute it on a mesh, right?
Yeah.
So there's a way to do that, isn't there?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do.
I'm asking the hard questions. Guys.
Mesh, right? So it says please connect mesh. Input mesh is going to be my snakes. So I'm middle click that and drag it into my input mesh. Boom. So it's distributed on here. It should be somewhere. Maybe I need to do this. Let's see it.
Wait, looking for the cube?
Yeah, I should be able to see it. Let's do 500. Why can't I see it? Why can't I see them? It's weird.
Now, are you?
There they are. See it?
Yeah. Okay.
They're just really small. So. Now let's make it smaller again.
I seem to remember when I was using this too. I was really frustrated because I couldn't figure out. Was it the scale that I couldn't figure out how to randomize the scale?
Mm-hmm. There is a way.
I remember you telling me that there was a way. I remember that. I remember you telling me that.
So see how I can kind of see them on the surface there? I know everything's like the same color, so. But I'm going to take that and I need to go to Mesh again, go to Distribute. Let's do.
Yeah, you need a lot more, right?
I need a hell of a lot. Let's do 2,000. And they're starting to show up. Let's do 10,000. Oh, my computer doesn't blow up. There they are. So they're little specks, right? And I should be able to go into shrink bats.
Are those snakes' eyes part of the actual snake mesh?
No, they're separate.
Oh, okay.
Because I was going to do little texture on the eye for a little snake eye, but I just got lazy. So I'm going to add a random node right here. See how they're kind of off a little bit? Yeah. So in my random, in this position, I don't want...
Yeah, no translate, right?
There, so they're all stuck to the surface. And then I'm going to randomize the rotation. You know, arbitrary numbers. And then I'll randomize the scale. And that's what you were talking about?
Yeah, I thought that's what it was.
So I'm going to go back to that original sugar cube baby, little baby boy. Scale this down a little bit more, a little smaller. And it's crazy how this isn't bogging me down the system at all. And then I think I want more of it. I think I want to go in and
I mean, it depends, right? Because for the sake of a render, you might just want to have a bunch, like something small and shiny like that. You know, if you're
maybe not, because I just want little dustings of it.
Yeah, because from too far away, you might not see them at all. Mm-hmm. So you might almost, depending on the distance of your render, you might almost need to oversize them in some way so that they show up.
So I'm going to save, and we're going to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's see if it renders. I think. So what's happening is it has all of that stuff on there, so it's taking a minute. I think they're there.
Oh yeah, they are.
See right up your nose, homie.
They're there. We'll have to see if, again, when you do that, you might need to kind of correspondingly turn down the spec on the gummy. You know? Because they are definitely a less gummy type of worm when they have that kind of you know what they're like the one of those candies, the gummy ones. You get like 5 in a pack. They were disgusting. What were they? Come on, dude.
5 in a pack.
Yeah, you got like these 5 little gumdroppy stuff. Chuckles, maybe?
I don't know that one, sir.
Chuckles, I think. Yeah, Chuckles. You don't know what Chuckles are.
No, sir.
They're disgusting. Don't have them. Anyone knows what Chuckles are.
This is the wrong material.
I think the little dusty, sugary thing though is a good idea if you're going for that kind of gummy look.
I mean, it's working. It's what?
Yeah.
Maybe let's stop. Maybe I need to apply.
You almost need to make that not spec at all. Honestly, like the gummy worms, if you're going to do that. Chuckle sounds like you never laugh. No one here probably ever watched The Tick, which was like this ridiculous and kind of like really, I thought, really funny cartoon in the 90s. But one of the villains was named Proto Clown. He was like a Frankenstein's monster clown. And the thing about him was he got angry when you laughed at him. That's true. So yeah, Ben said, she might have like some little sugar things on her shoulders. snake flakes.
Snake tantrum. I don't know why that made me laugh inside so much.
Maybe inside too much too.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. Or maybe it's not. Huh. Is it picking up the material? It is picking up the material. God, we're learning all kinds of stuff today.
That's true. If snakes, shedding their entire skin, like that would be a serious kind of case of Medusa dandruff. When you think about it, that would be unfortunate.
The worst kind. Jesus. Louise. I'm surprised how fast it is rendering, considering they're 15,000.
Yeah. How would I do that?
So maybe if I wasn't so up close and personal, it could look a little better.
Do a little transparency here on the little flaps. So I get a little fancy with this here. So let's just save this out and see what we get. Save as UV. I'll export this out. I just want to see how it looks. Export. Gorgon. Dude, that sound. I mean, honestly, that was like I can imagine that being a candy. I mean, they have gummy worms, gummy bears, gummy everything. It's not a bad idea.
Scroll Reaper says she's messing with that sugar. Go to sugar.
Gummy. So let's import that texture and see how this looks. Where is it? Texture, grab this little guy. Flip it.
You know what? Adding a little shit, that was a good touch.
Yeah, I'm glad I thought it.
Yeah. Go look it up, Brett. Maybe they do need to be a little bigger, but I hate to start this render over since it's so damn slow. Man.
It'd be worth it though. That'd be cool if you render when it's done.
It is not, sir.
Oh, wait! Did that sugar get bigger?
I made it bigger.
It might not be bad. It might be. It might be. Might kind of.
You never know until you try. You never know until you try.
Change the music up a little bit this time. I went with groove because I was getting
The people want louder music.
the other kind was getting a little too familiar. I was getting a little used to it. Just a little. It was. I was starting to.
Zombified out to it.
It's getting a little. It's getting a little. It's a little too familiar. It's like, oh yeah, I know that song. I know that song. So I just need to have something a little bit different. Over in the groove. Oh jeez. Frosted snake candy. And that's I mean, look, that's it's a talent because from what I understand, like it's hard to make food render out tasty looking.
Have I ever told you about my favorite food artist?
Yes, you should
This
show. You should show because it is kind of it's impressive.
dude, man, Patrick 4D on Instagram. I love his stuff, and he has a niche. And he just nails it, dude. Like, hold on, I'm gonna show him 1 second. That's sugar. There's sugar right there. Anyway, let me bring him up on my other screen so my rest of my Instagram feed doesn't disturb anybody. You never know what's gonna pop up. You never ever know. This is this guy. Oh my god! And again, he's streaming for ZBrush now. Nothing overly complex about what he does, but he does it so well. Like his cheesesteak, look at that.
The thing is, again, like that. I think like the materials and lighting on the meat to get that speck to look like actual meat. That looks like it'd be hard to make.
And the modeling is deceptively simple. When you look at it here in the grayscale, there's nothing really complex about it, but he just nails it. Let me show you another one. And on his Instagram, he has a lot of process. What is this? Onion burger? And he's doing social media right. Like he has lots of content. He shows his process.
What the heck is he doing? What is all that?
He's making a diced onion burger, just all onion.
Jeez, dude, and that's all materials, man. It's so much of that. That's
the render material, shaders, and that's all that stuff. The model's good. I mean, I sometimes you wouldn't think, well, how do I do a viscous like liquid like honey? How would I model that? He just does it well. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna steal his voodoo.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought that would be kind of your, like that would be right up your alley, kind of play around with it.
It is. I've been admiring his work forever, and I said I'm going to do some stuff like that, but he already does it. And then as soon as I think to do something, he does something way better. And mine's not going to look my render's not going to look as good as that.
Ben says air fryer. Okay, yeah. I keep hearing about air fryers. I don't. Do you have one, Tom?
Absolutely, I love it.
Okay. I don't see. I keep hearing about. I don't even know what they are. I mean, do they fry things without?
It can, but it's just like it's basically a convection oven, right? And the air circulates around the food, and it just does magic. Like, do you like fried food? The answer is yes.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
So, I mean, if you just, without having a big bucket of oil to fry it in, if you just kind of give your food a spray or a quick dressing of a couple of tablespoons of oil, it'll heat it and you get crispy stuff. What I like about it is it makes your food crispy without dunking it in oil.
Right, yeah.
And it makes good steaks if you know your timing and temperature setting, and you can do a million things with it. I love my air fryer. I have the air fryer combination Instapot. I got it all. Yeah, check out this dude, Patrick 4D. And again, not many people do food that looks good. He's nailing it, man. It's basically his market. He made a chicken and waffle blizzard. Very
Ooh,
good.
that's a bold choice.
So here's the other thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
AI now makes wonderful, realistic looking food. I've seen some examples and holy crap. So there's that too.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is I'm just going through the dude's like all the stuff looks real. Like it's just amazing. But I was just saying, like I've been following Midjourney and looking at their homepage,
Mhm.
and some of the and again I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, now with AI, rah rah rah. Okay, cool. But um, it's turning out some kick butt stuff, man. As far and when you look at food, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know how to search for it, but I came
Well,
across some.
I remember when that Midjourney first came out. That was one of the first things you started looking for was like cosmic hamburgers.
Yeah, I made a bunch of them, and now like it's figured out how to do it. It's just like I don't know. I and again I know it hurts me that I like some of this stuff so much. I love this kind of stuff, like the cute stuff. Oh, it's like
I Heresy. It's not again like to me for something like Midjourney. If I'm doing a character and I want to get a concept idea, if I go online and look at someone else's concept work, that feels worse to me.
yeah,
Because then I'm thinking, so at least if I just generate something and get an idea from it, at least I'm not stealing from anybody.
like I know it's forbidden fruit, but it's gotten so good. It's undeniable. Like for me, who doesn't think in armor or like hard surface, this shit is amazing. Like look at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how to do that otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I understand why people hate on it. I understand how it's morally questionable, but this shit is beautiful. Look at that.
That is cool.
All right, I'll stop before I get heat now. Down with AI. See, yeah, man. I mean, people are using it for the right reasons. Great. If you're just stealing stuff from people, I mean, good point. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, for people whose careers are about concepting, I totally get it.
But hear me out here. I want AI to come in and take all our jobs so we can get universal basic income and I can just do what I want. Because I'm still gonna make 3D. I'm still gonna make art. I'm still gonna teach. But they're gonna pay me to just live and be a productive citizen. And just not be stressed out. I love it. Take my job. I don't want this shit.
You have a very optimistic way of looking at things, Tony.
No, I think about it because I'm a Star Trek fan, right? And you know how Star Trek, there's no money, and everybody pursues their calling, right? I guess that's for lack of a better term. Wouldn't that be awesome if we could all just like pursue our whatever it is, and not worry about money or living or bills and all that stuff? Let AI do all the music. Utopia, yes.
Tried before tried Midjourney and gave for poses for miniatures. That's interesting because whenever I tried it, I almost always just got like straight ahead faces. You know, like I'm sure I just don't know how to use it, but yeah, I turn out Utopia. It would be nice. Yeah, look, I don't want much. I just want I just want to have these software not be subscription anymore. That's all I ask.
That's all I ask. Come on, AI.
I guess just stop with this. Stop with the monthly payments. This is let me, because the thing is, I can be irresponsible once, right? Like I'd be like, I probably shouldn't be buying this, and then just buy it, and I'll feel bad briefly, and then I'll get over it. But if you make me have to be irresponsible monthly, one of those times, I'm going to be I'm going to be a responsible person. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but it could happen.
Speaking of that, I got to turn off. I got to turn off one of my subscriptions where I pay for another month that I didn't mean to. Thanks for the reminder, guys. See, if we had Utopia, I wouldn't have to worry about these subscriptions. See,
Jamie, the people like like you're dangerous people because you're trying. I feel like he's trying to get me hooked on a drug. Blender's free. The first one's free, Brad. The first login's free. I know, and I'll tell you, I mean it. I swear, I have, and Tony, you probably can attest because you've heard me complain a bunch of times.
Of course,
I have tried annually to learn it, and I sit there and say, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to complain anymore. I'm going to do it. And
Brad, what did I say the first day of the summer? Brad, we're going to learn Unreal and ZBrush this summer. Haven't touched it all summer.
And Jamie, every year, and it's true, every year, we pledge that we're going to take the summer and learn it. Now, to be fair, we know as we say it that it's not going to happen. We know, but this year I pledged that I was going to claim to learn Unreal and not learn it. And I have to say, not to pat myself on the back, but I have indeed not learned it. So just like I planned, thank you very much. Your success.
I know I'm full of crap. I know it.
I need to, I really want to learn Unreal. I really want to be able to do, to be able to kind of animate, when I do my animations, I bring it in there and render it. I have to find out before I get too into it whether or not I can just bring in my animated stuff without having, because I think I have to go through and assign all the materials and all that kind of I have to kind of see how much of a chore it is to kind of transfer from one thing to the other. Also, there is the little element of me actually learning it, which I have not yet done. At some point, though, I might. At some point, you can't say I won't. We can be fairly confident I won't.
Hey, Groats is 5:05, sir.
It is 5:05. See, it's a good thing you're here because I was in belt mode. I will say, I feel personally that this is actually a fairly productive day for me.
Yeah.
I mean, at the start of the day, let me get some better color in here. At the start of the day, he had no helmet, he had no greaves, he had no belt, he had no flaps. And at the end of the day, he has helmet, he has greaves, he has belt, he has flaps. Not finished, but he's almost outfitted. He's almost gotten most of his stuff. I mean, and a little bit about nanomesh. We learned about mesh, which is still awesome. Right? We can polygroup with checkers now. I mean, the world is your oyster once you can polygroup with checkers. You really can't do any better. Can't do any worse than that. Any better? I mean, worse? I don't know. So, folks, I think that at this point, we will not wear out our welcome. We're going to, close up shop while I forgot to give him a back flap. He needs a back flap.
Don't forget that flap.
Because I recognized that his butt was very, very flat. And I was like, well, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have a flat back there. And I need to make sure I actually do that because otherwise people will stare. All right, so Barbarian, roughly outfitted, gummy worms nicely coated with sugar, which is awesome. I think that was a good call.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweak it.
Yeah. And we'll be, again, this is Wednesday, right? So we'll be back again on Saturday with the guys in Stylus League for
For
part
Zelda.
2 of Zelda slash pig person slash
Big
poor
boy.
kid.
Same bat time, same bat place.
That's right. So again, folks, as always, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I hope it was a good time. And again, next week we're back for more if you're going to be here too. Hope to see you then. And if nothing else, hope to see you on Saturday as well. So again, thanks, folks, for hanging out. We'll see you in a few days.
Pick forms for everybody.